Hello, 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 hello out there in YouTube land. This is Cam Wallace. How are you? Let me introduce myself to you all out here in the YouTube world. I'm so used to talking to people on Facebook all the time. I might slip up and call you guys Facebookers because I know you probably do have a Facebook page. So please don't get offended, okay? Now, let me just tell you guys a little bit about who I am and why I'm here. My name is Cam Wallace, like I said. God calls me Kabula. That's the name that he told me he gave me. My mother called me Kamala. Well, when I was 7 years old, I had a dream about God. His face was as bright as the sun, and he came down through the clouds out of the heavens. And once he did, in the dream, I remember people were running all around and they were yelling and talking about he's back, he's back, he's back. But I was just standing there and I was looking. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so I'm standing there looking at this amazing sight, and I'm like, I don't know what the heck is going on, but I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at it, and I wasn't moving. I was just mesmerized. Well, that was when I was 7 years old. Well, I'm 50 now, and this same dream has carried me my whole entire life, guys. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, like I said, the dream has carried me my whole life. I've dreamed that dream when I was 7. Once I had the dream, I woke up and told my mom about it. Then the devil came in my household and tore my entire family up. Then to me, it's like I was thrown into the wilderness for having this dream about this man coming down out of the sky. And the thing about it, when he was, this is how the dream, let me just tell you how the dream happened, because it's a very interesting dream. And like I said, this dream has kept me going all my life. It's just really motivated me. I remember in the dream, I'm sorry, I look away because I don't want to be distracted by looking at myself. So you guys, when you get to know me, because I'm going to look away a lot, I curse, I do a lot of things that they say Christian people or people who love God shouldn't do. And they say that, fuck them. Anyway, let's keep moving. So here's the thing. In the dream, I was standing outside and there was this open field. And I remember it was a lot of people outside. It was like a sandy field. It was no grass out. The field was sandy. It was like desert type sand, like just dry sand. And people were walking around. They were walking around, and I remember all of a sudden, in the first dream, I had this dream twice. When I was 7, it happened this way. In the first dream, the clouds in the sky rolled back, and I could see the black galaxy, like when you look up into the galaxy at night and you see the black and the stars and how they were shining. Well, as I'm standing there looking and all these people are just chaotically running around me, I'm standing there looking and I'm like, what in the world? And I see the stars are starting to now come closer to me. And I'm standing there like, what in the world? And then all of a sudden, guys, this bright sun, I see this sun. It's like you could look at it and tell that it wasn't just a sun, it was a person, but the face of the person was so bright. I'm sorry, I'm sitting under the hairdryer in my bedroom, but the face of the person was so bright. And I remember people were like, he's back, he's back, he's back, he's back, he's back, he's back. And in the process, I'm just standing there and I'm like, who is this person that everybody is so frantically running, running around trying to, I don't know what the heck they were doing. They were just frantically running. And so, long story short, I'm gonna put the camera up a little bit, guys. Long story short, what happened was, in the dream with the man or whatever, it's probably not gonna stay, and I just don't feel like holding it, so I may just come back and do the video over. But anyway, I'll hold it. In the dream, the man was telling everybody to come and go with him in the dream, okay? And as he's telling everybody to come and go with him, the person, like, he was calling you by your name, and he was like, well, you come and go with me. And then he got to me and he was like, Cam, he said, come and go with me. And I looked at him and I was like, no, I can't go with you. I gotta save my family. I just can't leave them. They're not here. And he said it 3 times. He was like, come and go with me. I was like, no, I can't go with you. I got to save my family. I cannot go with you. And so, long story short, that morning when I woke up, that morning, my mom was getting me ready for school. And I'm not going to go into the full details of the story right now, but you guys will hear this later. I promise you, you will hear everything about my life. But at this particular time in my life, my dad was a world-renowned gospel entertainer with a gospel group called the Mighty Clouds of Joy, if you've ever heard of that group. They have been singing gospel for over 30 years. My father is actually one of the last original living members of the group. So that is kind of like who I am, and that's a part of my legacy. Not bragging, because that's nothing to brag about. None of us have been perfect in our lives, and that even includes being a gospel entertainer. It doesn't mean anything to me like that. The only thing in the world I really have found value in, and I'm going to be honest with you, at the age of 50 years old, the only thing that I found value in this world is my word. And that's it. It's my word. And when you give a person your word, you're giving your person really everything that you got. I remember when I was growing up, my grandmother used to always say, like, if a man gives you your money, he's going to be looking for something. Because when a man give you money, he's going to be wanting something back in return. I mean, so it's a lot of things at 50 years old. I remember my grandmother used to tell me, and you'll hear a lot of those things now. And I'm grateful that God has given me an opportunity to get onto a platform like YouTube and to share my story. Most of the time I talk to you guys, I'll probably be in my room, because I used to be a master cosmetologist in Augusta, Georgia. And I literally was a single mom raising my children on my own. And it got to the point to where I just overdid it. I was tired. I've been in car accidents. I've died twice for 25 minutes, both times medical deaths, where the doctors told my parents, your child is dead. You know, she's been gone. She's going to be brain dead. If she lives, she will be brain dead. She will not be able to walk. She will not be able to talk. But for some reason, there was someone that I knew that was greater than what the doctors had to say. And I even remember my Uncle Herman. He was the oldest son that my grandmother had. He's now gone. He's no longer in the same energy that I met him as, my uncle, in a physical body. And I say it that way because I had a hard time dealing with death because of the way we grew up and how people taught us and stuff. I just don't believe in things that I've been taught anymore. I don't know if it's anyone else out there in the world that's going through denials and going through disbelief, you know, disappointed. It's just so many people in the world are being disappointed day by day because we sit up here and we put our expectations on others, for one. And when we put our expectation on others, we expect them to be able to satisfy us when satisfaction doesn't come from others, it comes from within. And when I say that, I really and truly believe that. Meaning, if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with anyone else. You know, I can literally sit here now at 50 years old and say that. But anyway, back to my dream. So in the dream, I didn't go with God. I turned and I ran. And I told him I had to go save my family. Well, that morning when I woke up, back then it was like in the 70s, I want to say. I want to say it was in the early 70s because I was in kindergarten. I was 7 years old. So I was thinking I was going to the first, second, or third grade. So I don't know how old you are, but you guys can figure it out if that's important to y'all. But it's not important to me. Well, it could be important when I get ready to give you guys the numbers, and by that time I'm sure it'll come to me. But right now I'm not giving numbers. I'm just giving you an introduction to who I am. As you all can see, I've already posted some posts that I do on Facebook and that I was doing on Facebook. But then again, like I told them in the video, I don't want to keep doing all that teaching if you don't want to be taught. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be taught, I don't want to teach. If you just want me to give you the numbers and the pairs and tell you what I think is going to be and teach you how to play the game, the wall ace, which comes from the house of God that he has taught me over the I've been working on the lottery and studying the lottery since 1993. Just studying different things that I'm able to do because I'm not big into computers. I don't believe in, I like computers, don't get me wrong, but I'm not into doing my numbers on the computer and letting the computer compute all the math. I'm not into that. I'm into like reading and studying. I like studying things like alchemy. I like ancient Egyptian culture. I love physics. I just like stuff that makes my mind think. And most of the things that I've picked in my life, those things have actually led me to be able to walk with God. So back to the dream. Well, that morning when I woke up in the dream, at the time, my father, he was, like I said, he was a gospel entertainer, but he used to drink a lot. And this particular morning, my mother was in the den. She was combing my hair. I was sitting between her legs, and she was combing my hair. I had really, really long hair, and so she was combing my hair, and my dad came in the kitchen from the opposite way, and she said, "Good morning, baby," and he said, "Good morning." So he opened up the cabinet, and there used to be like a cabinet where there was liquor in our cabinet. So he opens up the cabinet. When he opened up the cabinet, my mom says, "Baby, let me fix you some breakfast so you won't get sick on your stomach before you take your drink." And so he looked at my mom and he slammed the cup down on the table, and it was a monster came out of him. And he began to yell at her, and we'll go into that later. But somewhere along the lines of the monster showing up in my father, my mother ended up in a coma for 2 weeks. My dad, I think he ended up getting beat up by my uncles. I'm not sure, and I think he had got in trouble with the law. For me, what happened to me is where I would like to start this journey with you. If you don't mind, I want you guys to walk with me. I want you to laugh with me. I want you to cry when I cry. I want you to really feel my life. God has also given me many other names, and those names you will learn on our journey. I'm going to call this our teacher's journey because up until now, I remember a song my grandmother used to sing called Teacher's Journey. And in my life, I've truly come up the rough side of the mountain. I've learned all kinds of things and gone through all kinds of situations that I'm grateful for. It's caused me to be the woman that I am today, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm going to get better as far as public speaking and all that. I don't feel like it's all that important to me for what I'm doing right now because I'm in my bedroom, I'm relaxing, I'm chilling. I just went and bought me this cute onesie. You guys like my onesie? I just went and got this cute little onesie. Let me zip it up a little bit. Isn't it cute? It's so comfortable, guys. I got it from Walmart. Isn't that nice? So and it's reasonably priced. Yesterday I was in Target and they were kind of expensive. I didn't say it, but I like Target too because they have different things and it's a different quality. So just know when you go to Walmart, you are going to get what you pay for as well. So they're both great stores though. I do patronize both of those stores. So hey, Walmart and Target, if y'all are out there, you better check your girl out because I'm growing and I don't grow slowly. I've already done that. It's my latter rain. 50. Come on now. But anyway, guys, so the morning we woke up, my dad turned into the monster. And somewhere along the lines, I don't know if I got shattered, but I always told God I felt like I was shattered pieces. And I remember when I came to from wherever I went, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if in the commotion of everything, if they pushed me to the side and I maybe blacked out or got hurt some kind of way or whatever, I don't know. All I can tell you is that love has stepped up and love has prevailed. And what I mean by that is this. I was 7. I'm 50. And I love my mom and I love my dad and they love each other, but they also love the people that they ended up being with. And all in all, in the end, I'm not going to say that nobody ever is going to have a happy ending or whatever, but it really doesn't matter about all that. But what really does matter is the rewards that come from the tedious journey. And that's where I am in my life today. And the reason why I'm here on YouTube is because I want to give what I found away. I want to give it to you as well. I want to share my journey with you and my blessings with you. Because like I said, I've died 2 times and God sent me back twice. There has to be a reason I'm here. I pray a lot. I don't like a lot of things. I get very emotional and I love being alone in my room by myself, creating in my mind, because every time you create something in your mind, your vibration is going to vibrate there. You hold it for 17 seconds and you're going to have everything that you desire in life. Like I said, I'm a single mom. I have 2 children. I have a granddaughter, and I'm very grateful for being here. But now, I came here because I believe in that dream when God told me to come and go with him. And I told him that I could not go with him because I had to come and save my family. I believe I was talking about you too. I don't know if you have ever prayed and asked God for help in any area of your life, but if you have, I can promise you, I can be part of your answer. I can be someone to sow the seeds into your life to give you what it is that you're looking for. No, not by knowing you or listening to something that you say or getting in your business. I want you to get to know me because I want to live my life as an open book like I always have been for God. And I want to share everything that he has given me with you guys because I do truly believe that I have tapped into something that I don't think many people have tapped into. I do believe in a lot of things, guys. I mean, a lot of things. I believe in the solar system. I believe in mathematics. I believe in science. But I believe in religion to a certain point, but I don't believe in all the things that religion causes people to do. I can't blame the way people act on religion. I need to stop doing that, but I find myself doing it a lot because most religious people, they're so fucking holy rollers, and I've been there. That's how I can say it. I've been a fucking holy roller. I've been hypocritical. I've been everything that we see in others that we don't like. And that's why God gave me this platform to come and speak to you today, my brothers and my sisters. Why am I here? I have had a long journey. I'm sitting here looking out of my window and I've had a long journey, guys. And I don't know how much longer I have. I don't know how much longer you have, but I know there's someone out there who needs to hear the things that I have to say. How do I know? All my life, people have been telling me, you're going to change the world. Well, let's begin this story here. March of 2000, I went to lunch with my mother and a client of mine named Felicia Barnes. We went to this place called Calvin's to eat some soul food. My mom and I, Felicia, we got a table and we sat at the table. Felicia and my mom sat on the same side, so they were having a conversation, and I, as always, with my head's in the clouds, talking to God. I'm sitting on my side of the table talking to God. He says to me, Cam, if I give you your own business, what would you name it? And I was like, oh, this is what I'm saying inside myself. Now, I'm not doing all this in reality. I'm doing it inside myself. I'm all excited inside of myself. And I'm going, oh, God, I would name it Agape Spruce, which means unconditional love pick-me-up, or love spruce. And he says, no. And I said, no. He says, no. He said, name it Image Therapy. And I said, out loud, I said, Image Therapy? I like that. And my mom and my client goes, who in the hell are you talking to? And I'm like, I'm sorry. So I'm like over here talking to God. Y'all go ahead. So I continued my conversation with God and told him the things that I desired to hear from him, and he told me the things that he desired to tell me. Well, in the process of all of that, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. That was in March of 2000. By May the 24th of 2000, he had given me direct instructions as to what to do. One day I was going to eat lunch with one of my friends. I got a phone call from one of my friends from high school, and he was like, hey girl, you want to meet me at Piccadilly to get something to eat? And I was like, Piccadilly? I love Piccadilly, hell yeah. So I got off the phone and I'm getting dressed, trying to make it over there because he said he was on his lunch break. So I'm trying to make it there, and I hear God say, hey Cam. And I was like, very attentive to his words. I was like, yes. And he says, listen, when you get in your car, he said, get in your car, drive down Tobacco Road, go down to Winter Springs Road. No, yeah, he said, go down to Winter Springs Road, make a left, go down that way. He said, then turn on 520. He said, once you get to 520, he said, make a right, go down to Jackson Road, make a left, and he said, go down Pleasant Home Road and go to Washington Road and eat with your friend. He said, and once you go that direction, he said, look for empty buildings. And I said, okay. He said, because I'm going to give you your shop. He said, and when you get back home, I want you to call. And when you call, we'll go from there. I said, okay. So I did exactly what he told me to do. I went exactly the route that he told me to go. I wrote down all the empty buildings, and I went back to backtrack like he told me to make sure I didn't miss any. When I got home, when I got home, it was about 5:45. No, it was about 4:45. Please forgive me. That's a number for you guys. 4:45. Wait a minute. No, it wasn't, Holy Spirit. Is that right? Did I say it right the first time and I corrected myself? It was. It was 5:45 because the lady, her office closed at 6. And I had a few minutes to make it there from my home. So what happened was, when I got to the lady's business, I had my kids with me because I had to pick them up from school. My smallest kid got out of school at 4 o'clock, okay? So I picked my kids up from school, and I called the lady when I got, to the house and everything, and it was 4:45, and she said, listen, I'm closing my shop down in 5:45, and she said, I'm closing the doors in a minute for the day. She said, how far do you live from here? And I said, well, I live like maybe 10 minutes. So she goes, okay, well, come over real quick, and you could take a look at the empty building. I said, okay. So I went over to look at the empty building, and she says to me, we're walking up a flight of steps, and she looks back at me and she goes, ma'am? And I said, yes. She said, do you believe that with God you could do anything? And I smiled at her and I said, yes, ma'am, I really do. And so she was like, good, very good. So she opened the door to her building, and I went in. Once I got in, I looked around it, and it's like I had a vision, and I was like, this is perfect for me to put a small salon. I was a hairstylist and a single mom. I had 2 children. So I was trying to take care of my kids, and I was trying my best not to be out here on welfare and stuff. I was doing my best to stay off welfare. Well, anyway, that's when I really kind of I was still already into the lottery because, like I said, I got into the lottery back in 1993. And then I started doing hair more, and after the accident in 95. And after 95, I was so blessed, y'all. People was coming to me getting their hair. I had this one lady, her name was Kay. Miss Kay used to come to me every Friday, and she would get so mad at me if I would take a client after her because she would want me to lock my door so that we can work on the lottery numbers. She was my client for a long time. But I told her, I said, no, I don't have to, lock the doors. I can do your hair and do their hair, and we can do lottery numbers at the same time. And it was such a great time in my life because, y'all, we won and we won and we won. Every time my kids would come home from school, they would have a new bag of clothes. They had the best Jordans. They had everything from the lottery. And so a few months ago, like I said, I've always studied the lottery and played the lottery, but a few months ago, I was scrolling on a medium. I don't know which one it was. And I saw a testimony from this lady saying that she quit her job because she was tired and she just started studying the lottery. And now she teaches people how to be successful in the lottery. Well, my son told me that he thinks that I have an intuition. And so he says, Mom, I want you to develop your intuition a little bit more. So that's what I do. I use the Georgia Lottery and I find out what the numbers are that are coming in that particular state. And then I talk to God about them. And over the last no. This is 2018. Let's see, 15, 16, 17. Yeah. Over the last 3.5, almost 4 years, God has been teaching me workouts. I've got so many of these yellow leaflet, these big yellow notebooks, these legal pads. I've got numbers for days. And 3 years ago, God spoke to me, and I'm looking at my notes. God spoke to me, and he told me, it was January, it was the first of that year. I remember I had been fasting and I had been praying, and he said, he said to me, he said, Cam, he said, the last shall be first. And so I wrote it down in the first notebook, and I kept going and kept playing with the numbers and learning the numbers. And then after I did that, I still could not figure out what he was saying, but I kept focusing on the last digit of the lottery. Every time I would play, I said, okay, he says the last shall be first. Then I started putting it to use in my life, and I started saying, okay, Cam, the last shall be first. What is God saying to you? What does this mean? And then I was thinking about, okay, I'm dating people from my past, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, just trying to figure it out. You always want to try to see if you can see what God is telling you. But then most of the time, y'all, when we do that, like they say in the world, the devil is in the details. We really put the devil in it, and he starts fucking shit up. And that's just the truth. I mean, I've been there. I'm literally telling you guys from experience. I have literally been there, so I know what I am saying is the truth. It may not be your truth because you don't have to go through the things that I go through, but that's why we learn from others and we share our stories so that we can keep other people from having to suffer just because we've suffered. Just putting a little extra love out into the atmosphere, not causing anybody any harm, just giving a little bit of extra love, and that's all. It's just a good thing. But anyway, well, the other day I told God, I said, I've been on Facebook. I had been on Facebook for almost 2 weeks, giving out the lottery numbers for 2 weeks. Last week, I told everybody, I said, I'm going to build you guys a solid foundation. I said, my uncles were builders. They build houses for a living. I said, so I know how to build a house. I said, I know how to brick a house. I can pull wires. I can lay the shingles on the roof. I said, I know what I'm doing. I said, let me show you guys how to build a solid foundation. So I tried to teach them how to make pairs. I tried to teach them what God taught me about that. And over that particular week, they got the hang of it. So they were hitting and texting me. Well, the next week I said, no, we're going to switch things up a little bit because I don't want you guys to think that, oh, this is what she do to win, and I'm going to just be comfortable. I'm going to just get this little bit. I'm going to go take it back to my other group, and I'm going to see what numbers they got and compare them, and then I'm going to be hitting the numbers, and I'm going to be so wealthy, so wealthy, so wealthy. But that's not necessarily the case. So here's the thing. With me, I do not use a computer at all. The closest thing I come to a computer is this cell phone holding it in my hand when I'm talking to you guys on the video, or if I need to add up something, and that is it, or if I need to check the date or the numbers. Like I said, with the numbers, I have been teaching them. I made them a sure foundation. Well, this week, God gave me something different. He gave me something more complete than I've ever had. And this is what I want to share with you. It is a complete look at the game that I have created in a different look that I've ever seen it. And he's put it in order. And what I want to do with you all is I want to share it by giving you the same thing I gave you last week, giving you the pairs, giving you the the keys. And this week, guys, we have some good news. There are some overdue numbers that need to fall, and we are going to hit them, and we are going to hit them hard. Now, here's the thing. I live in Georgia, guys. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I am from Augusta, Georgia. I'm only using the Georgia lottery to give you these numbers, and they are falling everywhere. Check out the previous videos I posted and go back and get on my Facebook. Send me a friend request on Facebook. Cam Wallace at Facebook. Just get me. Look me up and look up my videos. And when you get on there, check out the post, because when you read in the post, listen at what all these people are saying about me. Girl, you ain't nothing but the truth. You telling it, girl. Everybody else be giving us a list of numbers. You tell us which number it's going to be, and you call it. Last week, there's 21 Cash 3 games. There's 21 Cash 4 games, and I think 14 Georgia 5 games. Last week, I think my group hit a total of 19, if not 20, or 21 Cash 3. I think they hit 18 Cash 4, and a couple, about maybe 5 or 6 of the Georgia 5 had 3 or more better digits in those numbers from what I have taught them, that God has taught me. So reason why I am here is I'm asking you all to follow me on every social media you can find me on, including Patreon. If you decide that you don't just want to know what the numbers are, and you want to know more about the numbers, and you want to learn and take classes, or look on my line videos and let me teach you guys something, then go to Patreon, Cam Wallace at Patreon. I will be charging $25, and I will be putting how I do this on there, so that you can get the same information and be able to duplicate what I do for your life and for your family. I want this world to be a better place. And my prayer to God was, okay, I've died twice for 25 minutes, both times you had me to go through the medical route. So there's a medical record of everything that I just said. Then after I died twice, I lost the blood in my body twice and had to get my blood rebuilt twice. So I've met death 4 times. Not only have I met death 4 times, guys, I sit before you right now. The doctor said that I have a aneurysm at the base of my brain. They say that there's an aneurysm somewhere over here on the left side of my neck. As you can tell, that side is a little bit larger, because when I had the head-on collision, the car literally hit me and my head went through the window. But you notice, God is good. God is good, guys. I had a very small piece of glass in this ear over here. Very small piece of glass in my ear. But when I went to court, the lady that was the witness, she said she had never seen a miracle until the day she saw my car accident. She said, on the day that I had the car accident, she said, there was something sitting on this shoulder. She said, I swear I saw a human being sitting on this girl's shoulder when her head went through that window. And she said the weirdest thing ever that happened in the whole situation, she said it was a brand new store. They had just did a grand opening and opened the store. And she said people were standing around talking and laughing and having such a good time. And she said that you could hear people saying things like, I don't know why I'm just standing here. I really need to take my butt to work. Or I don't know what I'm here for. I just came by the store today and I'm really enjoying myself. And she said all of a sudden, my accident happened right in front of the store. And she said, here's the part that she knew it was a miracle. She said, not only did she see a figure on my shoulder, on this shoulder, my right shoulder right here. She said, not only did she see a figure on my shoulder when my head went through the window, she said that when the accident happened, she said everybody that I needed to care for me, from the doctors, the medics, the police, the nurses, she said everybody was there at the store. She said, and when the accident happened and everybody ran toward us, when the impact happened, it happened so hard, y'all. The lady who was driving the other car, both of her legs were completely broken, and her child was thrown out of the back seat of the car. And my head went through the window, and my neck was placed between the seat and the door when they got to me. And the witness said that when they got to me, she said, ma'am, your eyes were open. She said, but you were not in your body. She said, and your bones in your neck was literally sticking out of your neck, and people were afraid to touch you. They thought that your neck was completely broken. And it's so crazy, guys, because I don't remember the actual accident. I do remember smelling this very foul odor that I've never smelt before. And come to find out that odor was me. Because I didn't know when you die, you release your bodily fluids and everything within. You know what I mean? It was released. And so when I came to from that particular death, which was the second time I died, I remember smelling the smell, and I must have been moaning or something. And then I remember that I heard this lady say, oh my God, she's alive, y'all. She's alive. How long has this lady been here? How long? And they was like, no, we was waiting for the morgue to come. So twice in my life, I've been waiting for the morgue to pick me up, and they've been late. Thank you, Jesus. Or thank you to Allah. Thank you to Buddha. I don't care. Thank you to the whole universe. All I know is God is good, and there is somebody bigger than me, and there is a place that we go to after this. And y'all will hear those stories as well, because I've got a lot of them. But right now, guys, I want to introduce you to what I do with the lottery, okay? Because I am very long-winded, and I don't have anyone else to talk to. And I can sit here and talk to myself all day and entertain myself like I'm entertaining you. But I want you guys to come over here with me, and I want you to excuse my room because I'm in transition. I have art supplies everywhere. Let me show you. I'm doing all kinds of crafts and all kinds of things like that. I want you guys to have so much of who I am, and it's so amazing. I've been doing so much crying. My cup is full, and it is truly running over, guys. Truly running over. Let me turn this camera around. Look, there's the magic of life, guys, with the notes and all for today. This is your blueprint for the week. Let me talk to you guys about it. The first thing I found to point with is going to be this handy hanger. Thank you for the hanger makers. Well, first of all, we're going to start here where God told me to start at. He says, I want you to welcome my children. He says, Cam, right, welcome to HOG, is the house of God's grace. This is our week blueprint. I will not teach you how to do this. This is the only thing I will not teach you how to do, is this. All right, but what I will do every day for you is I will do this for you once a day. This is the one for today. See, today's House of God, or you can say House of God's Grace like he said above. Well, this is the one for today, and we'll talk about it in a moment. Every day when I do this, I get a key digit. The first day, which is going to be every Sunday will be day 1 in Georgia, which Georgia, I think, has a lot of influence on other states. So every week will start with Sunday until they change the algorithm on us, and then we'll change the algorithm on them, because God has gotten many more where this one came from. This one right here is the second, which is today. So today's key is the number 5. Now let's go to the house of God and see what that means. When I get a key, I highlight the key. Okay, so I highlight all the keys. And I try to stay with the same color so I can know what day this reminded me of, okay? So now, we move here. The name of this game that I created is using my last name. My name is Camela, C-A-M-E-L-A. My last name is Wallace, W-A-L-L-A-C-E. Well, 2 years ago, my daughter came home and she says, Mom, she said, we got an opportunity to try out for a game show called The Wall. Well, LeBron James and Ellen DeGeneres came up with this fantastic idea to do this game show where you can win up to $12 million. Now, I don't know if that game show is still around today, but if it is, I would love to play it. Well, here's my version of The Wall. Ace. You thought I was going to copy off of them, didn't you? No, I am original because that is my last name. However, I did desire to go on the show. So let me explain to you why I came up with this game. Well, when I got on to the game show, and my daughter, she goes, Mom, they're going to do an interview. We got to think of something really jazzy and something really interesting to say to make these people remember us. I said, I got it. She says, what? I said, well, my last name is Wallace. Your last name is Martin. I said, so, hey, I'm going to use my last name. Nicely fitting in this situation. She goes, what do you mean? I says, well, hey, they want us to play this game called The Wall. That means somebody's got to ace it, so it might as well be me. I am The Wall Ace. It is my original last name, and I'm going to use it to tell them who I am today. So I did. I got up there, and I gave my interview, and I told them I am The Wall Ace. So, but anyway, we were getting off stage, and the lady was so nice. The producer, she goes, I will not forget y'all. And she didn't. The next year, she told us, what have you guys done lately? She sent us an email, and she goes, update us on the Wallace family. What have you guys done lately to change the world? Well, here I am, lady. You and LeBron James and Ellen DeGeneres, I'm going to change the world like I said I would do, blessing them one family at a time. It takes God a minute to find me, but when he does, guess what? We'll be right here with the winning keys that he gave me in my life. This is the Wall Ace. These are my winning keys, and I'm going to let you all have them so that you all are able to be blessed in your lives. The H by each one and the D, explanation. H are the hot keys, okay? I have gone back and looked at the last games that fell last week. Okay, not just these, but all of them for the whole week. And I have come to find out what is the hot pairs and what are the do pairs. And this is your pairs for the week. You need to write this down exactly like I have it to stay in order. Okay, so at the end, I'll give you a picture so that you can have it and you can write it on your paper. We take these keys to unlock the treasures over here. Okay, now remember I told you 3 years ago, God spoke to me through numbers. All of these numbers. He spoke to me through numbers and said, the last shall be first. The time has come. Waiting would be in vain. I started to wait until the 1st of January, and I said to God, God, I'm going to wait till January and show these people these numbers. But then the other day when I was doing my chart, I noticed that in my house, I have 29. I go from 29 down to 11, down to 2. Once I got to 2, I have had 3 crosses in my life to carry. The cross first was 29, the second cross was number 11, and the third cross is number 2. Well, today, we are in the 5th key, 5-0 key. I told you that my last cross had a 2 to bear, okay? We're going to use the 5 key because of today. It already has the 2 keys. We look here, okay? Today's date is the 10th, okay? The key for the first day was 0. All of the zeros are in orange. I put those in orange because I said, hey, they might be hungry and they might need to get a good lick today. So I put those in orange, okay? Not going to go into all the explanations that I've been doing in the past because I don't think you guys give a damn. So what I'm going to do is put these numbers up here, and I'm not going to tell you which ones to pick, but I will lead and guide you with these pairs and these keys that God has given me to give to you, okay? Now I have a question for you all, and I need for you to answer. What are you wanting from me? Are you interested in learning what I do so that you can do it like the story that says, when you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat forever? Or do you just want to be satisfied with the victories of today? Well, there you have it, and there are your keys. Now, let me give you a little bit more information. This week, we have some very good news. We have overdue numbers. Overdue is the pair 0-4. How do we work this out? We find the 0 key. We already found it. We found the 5 key. We already found it. And what is overdue? 4. 504. 504. See that? And what is it coming off of? Last night's number, yesterday's midday number, and 77. Let's see. 500. It's an intersection. 4774 and 628. 628 stops up here at this 4. So let's take a look at that, because this 628 did not touch this. So now let's take another number. We'll take that one because it did on 2 accounts. What else can we do? Well, let's go this way and see what we can do. Go back here. We have a 5. 5 what? Let's say 5. And let's look over here and see if we have any more 5. 5 and 1, you see that? Let's put those 2 together. Why did I say put those 2 together? Look what's due next to it. So since it's due over here, it could be due over here because 1 is already over here. 0 is already over here. And now over here, we found a 5 and a 1 and put it together. And what do we have? 501. Is 501 due in Georgia in one of the games? Yes, it is. It doesn't matter if you put it on cash 3, if you put on cash 4, or Georgia 5. 501 is due somewhere. All right, guys. What else do we have? We have, these are the overdue again. You want to write those down, and you want to mark your notes how I have my notes. Okay, today I gave you guys some top pairs, and I gave you guys some keys for the week. Stay close. If they don't come, stay close. You see that? All right. This is the Redeemer's Cross this week. You remember I told you that my grandmother used to have that picture of that man that she said was Jesus? And I said, Grandmama, that white man with them blue eyes ain't Jesus. Well, here's his Redeemer's Cross. This is what he has taught me how to do. The pair for today, the key for today to unlock your winning number is 5. See that? 5 is the key. Well, the first day our key was 0. We also see the 0 and the 5 are still partners because that 500 came. What did I say I liked in the house of God? The house of God says 5042. It says 5102. It says 502. So compare the houses. All of the houses are different. And here are some more keys that I like coming in any states this week. Okay, so I'll take a picture of this, guys. Thank you for joining me.